Hello, my name's Amy, and I'm here today with my colleague Ed from the Lincolnshire Recovery College. And today we're taking some time to think about Mental Health Awareness Week.
Yeah, it's a week which comes around every year, and it's from the 10th to the 16th of May. And as its name implies, it's about promoting awareness of mental health and the fact that we all have mental health, and some of us will experience mental health challenges.
And the theme for this year's Mental Health Awareness Week is nature, and about taking the time to pause and connect with nature, taking the time to listen, explore and discover the nature that surrounds us, and to link that in with our mental health and our well-being. So Ed and I have been having a think about what nature means to us and how it can help with our mental health and well-being.
Yeah, I think it's been especially important actually in this last year with the pandemic. And I remember last year sitting out in the garden. It was a beautiful sunny time last year, if you recall, and it was very quiet. The roads, all the traffic had stopped on the roads, the planes that weren't flying in the sky. It was really a strange time. But what was incredibly reassuring was that although kind of society had stopped, nature had kept going, and it was a magical time because I was really noticing the sounds of the birds, the sounds of the insects, things growing around me in my garden, and I found that incredibly reassuring. And I think perhaps over the last year we've come to appreciate just how important nature is, but also the other things that maybe we've taken for granted. So our connections with others, the things we do in our daily lives which promote our well-being. And I guess we're kind of recognizing just how important all of that is in terms of maintaining our well-being generally.
So I've always really enjoyed being outside and interacting with nature right from being a young child, exploring and making dens and really just being outside at every opportunity that I got. So during the lockdown, I think I've taken that opportunity to go out for walks and to find different places to explore that you were able to, and really notice the things that are around us. Something that I've really missed though is not being able to get out and about caravanning, which is something that I really enjoy. And when we do that, it is about making those connections, like you mentioned, Ed, and about enjoying that nature around you and taking that time to relax and to de-stress and to recharge. So I don't know about you, Ed, but what are some of the things that you've been doing sort of during the lockdown that have helped with mental health?
During the lockdown, I've been doing my gardening a lot, and I got into gardening about 3 years ago. Actually, there was one day I sat in the house. I was looking outside into the garden. I'd neglected it for years, and there was this weed that had grown up, and the weed was bigger than the tree. And something inside me snapped, and I just had to cut the weed down, and it felt so good that I cut the next one down. And to cut a long story short, I got back into gardening, and now I've got raised beds and hanging baskets and big tubs, greenhouse, etc. And I always find gardening incredibly de-stressing experience. So you're out there, you're nurturing, you're watering, and you can see day by day, the fruits of your labor. And of course, I grow my own veg, so you can eat it as well. And it's a fantastic thing, gardening. It's just one activity that we can do with nature. And the other thing I love doing is going for walks, and I must confess, over the last year, I haven't been. And now that things are being relaxed and we're allowed now to have non-essential travel, one of the things I will be really looking forward to in Mental Health Awareness Week, which is coming up, is either to go for a walk in the Dales, which I haven't been to, the Derbyshire Dales, or Peaks rather, or to go to the coast. There's something magical about the coast, something about the sea air, the sound of the waves, the feeling of the sand on your feet as you walk on the beach, something magical about that. And I always come away feeling incredibly refreshed and reinvigorated.
Yeah, just watch out for those seagulls. I'd make sure they don't steal your fish and chips.
Indeed.
I think I'm going to take a leaf out of your book in terms of the gardening, and I'm going to see if I can grow something and start planting some seedlings ready for putting out into the garden, so they've got that sense of achievement, that sense of accomplishment when you actually grow something that you've taken the time to nurture. So I suppose it's about, with Mental Health Awareness Week and that theme of nature, and how a lot of people have really taken that opportunity to find their links and their connections with nature during this lockdown. And it's about taking the time, I suppose, to start that conversation, to talk about people's mental health and well-being during Mental Health Awareness Week.
Yeah, I always say sometimes these conversations they're not easiest conversations, are they? And I think sometimes when we go for a walk, when you're side by side with a person, it's often easier to have those conversations. So maybe nature in the Mental Health Awareness Week, with this theme of nature, it may be great to go for a walk in the countryside or a park, if you've got a local park, side by side, and maybe have those conversations which are a bit deeper, and where we are talking a bit more about our feelings and how we really are. Those are really important for us.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity, isn't it, to start those conversations. So thank you for listening to us today. So we are from the Lincolnshire Recovery College, and we provide free educational courses for people who are age 16 plus. Ed, what sort of courses do we offer?
Well, it's a wide range. We talk about things like overcoming unhelpful thoughts and looking at our sleep and particular conditions like bipolar or emotional unstable personality disorder. But I think some of the ones which link to the theme for Mental Health Awareness Week, we do a course on thriving in nature. And that's very much where we explore what the benefits of spending time in nature or being active in nature. So that's a great course. We look, another course is around the 5 ways to wellbeing. And that is about noticing and being active and learning. And again, that's really a great course to do. And we do other courses like Let's Talk About Mental Health, which is a general introduction to mental health and to encourage us to start talking more about it.
Yeah, so how can people find us? How do people enroll onto these sessions?
It's really easy. If you just go onto any web search and put in Recovery College Lincoln, you'll very quickly find our webpage. Once you've got our webpage, you'll see all the courses around there, and you can apply online. It's really easy. It maybe takes 2 or 3 minutes to fill out the application form. You can book on courses where there's availability, of course, and you could apply today and start learning tomorrow. And they're all online at the moment, so they're really accessible for those people who've got access to the internet.
So thank you for taking the time to listen to Ed and I exploring our thoughts and ideas about mental health awareness and our thoughts about how nature can help support our well-being.